Hello and welcome to Academic Talk. This is the first episode number 1. So today we're going to talk about a topic that everyone is familiar with, but not everyone thinks deeply about animals. Yes, we see animals almost every day. For example, birds in the sky, dogs in the park, fish in a tank. But have you ever stopped and asked yourself that what makes animals so special? Why do we love them so much? Well, in this episode, let's explore animals not just as living creatures, but as teachers, helpers, and reminders of what it means to be alive. Okay? So let's start with something simple. What is an animal? Well, an animal is a living being that can move, eat, and react to the world. That includes big animals like elephants and tiny ones like ants, something like that. But animals are not just biology. There are emotion, behavior, and personality. So think about your favorite animal. Is it a dog, a cat, a tiger? Why do you like it? Why do you like that? So maybe because it's cute, strong, fast, or funny. But maybe there is something more. Maybe that animal reminds you of yourself or something you wish to be. Okay? So let me tell you a quick story. When I was young, I had a dog named Lucky. Yeah, named Lucky, of course. And he was a special breed, just a small brown dog with kind eyes. But to me, he was my best friend. Yes, of course. And when I felt sad, he would sit quietly beside me. When I was happy, he would jump and play. By the way, he couldn't speak, but somehow I always felt like he understood me. Okay? That's what animals do. They connect with us in ways that are hard to explain. They don't judge us. They don't care what clothes we wear or how much money we have. They just feel it. And that feeling brings us closer to nature and to ourselves. But animals are not only friends. They are also teachers as well. How's it like that? So think about ants. They are so small, but they work together better than many humans. See? They build house, protect their colony, and never stopped working. From ants, we can learn about teamwork, patience, and planning like that. Oh, or think about birds can fly thousands of kilometers to find food or a better climate. They don't have a GPS. They don't have it, but they know the way to go. They trust nature. They teach us about navigation, freedom, and trust. Even lions and wolves show us something powerful, the importance of family, protection, and leadership. Yeah, you see? So yes, animals can't speak like us, but they have so much to say if we pay attention with them. So let's talk about animals in the world today. Okay, sadly, many animals are in danger. Why is that? Some are losing their homes because of deforestation. or some are being hunted and some are disappearing forever. Why does it matter? Of course, because when we protect animals, we protect life as well. The earth is not just for humans, okay? It's for every creature, big or small, whatever. And when one species disappears, it affects everything. The food chain, the forest, the water, like that. So even if you live in a city, you can help by learning, by caring, by making small changes, like using less plastic or supporting wildlife programs like that. Now, before we end, I want to teach you some 3 English words from today's episode. Okay, as I mentioned, today's episode is animals. Yes, it's animals. So the first vocabulary that I want to teach you is creature. It's a noun, right? Creature. Creature means a living thing, especially an animal. For example, the forest is full of wild creatures. And the second thing is colony. Colony is a noun. It's a group of the same animals living together. For example, ants live in large colonies, things like that. And the third one is extinct. It's an adjective. Means that no longer living or existing. For example, dinosaurs are extinct animals. Yeah, actually you can practice using these words by writing one sentence for each word after this episode. Try it. It really helps you. I think you can use it when you grown up, and yeah, practice is the key. And I would say sometimes I miss pronunciation. I would say apologize, and yes, I try my best. And I would say I'm just a learner. I want to share an ideas, as the EP0 mentioned about that. Okay, if you make mistake, please give me the feedback at the below, and give me a feedback in the comments like that. Well, anyway, in the end, animals remind us of many things: to stay curious, to be kind, to live in balance. To live in balance. Yeah, they may not speak our language, but they teach us something more powerful, connection, like that. So next time when you see a bird on a tree or a dog on your street or whatever, please take a moment, watch it, learn from it, respect it, take care of it, whatever they are. And thank you for listening to Academic Talk for today, for the first episode. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to follow the podcast and share it with someone who loves animal too, who loves to listen to podcasts. And please give me your feedback, because this is the first episode, as I mentioned that. So new episode, of course, it's gonna be next time, but I'm not sure what they're at. But yeah, I enjoy to give you information, share the ideas. And yes, until next time, keep learning. Learn everything that you want and keep wondering about that. So that's it for today. Bye for now. Hello and welcome back to Academic Talk. I'm happy to see you again, and today we're going to talk about something very important, which is the environment, our planet, our home, and the world we all share. Well, we hear the word environment a lot, maybe in the news, maybe in school, but what does it really mean? So, simply put, the environment is everything around us. The air we breathe, the water we drink, the land we walk on, and the animals and plants that live with us. It's the sky, the oceans, the forests, and even the cities we build. It's where we live, right? And it gives us everything we need. For example, food, shelter, and life itself. But here's the problem. In our environment is in danger. Every day, forests are being cut down. Rivers are becoming polluted. Animals are losing their homes. And the air is getting harder to breathe. Why is it happening? So, much of it is because of human activity. We burn fossil fuels for energy, we use plastic that doesn't break down, and we create a lot of waste we take from nature. But we often forget to give back. And if we don't take care of the environment, it won't be able to take care of us too. And let's have a look at a few examples. When the air is full of smoke and pollution, of course, people will get sick. And when the ocean is full of trash, fish and sea animals die. And when we cut down too many trees, of course, there is less oxygen and more carbon dioxide. And when the weather changes too fast, of course, with hotter summers, stronger storms, and rising sea levels, it affects how we live, farm, and travel, everything. So you see, the environment is not just about nature, it's also about people, about health, safety, and the future. But here's the good news. We can do something about it. Even small action matter. For example, turning off the lights when we don't need them. Using reusable bags instead of plastic ones. Recycling paper, bottles, and cans. Or walking, biking, using public transport instead of driving everywhere. And planting trees, that's a good choice. And supporting clean energy. These are small steps, but when millions of people do them, they make a big difference. So, let me tell you a little story. A few years ago, I visited a small village where people didn't have much money, but every family had a garden. They grew their own vegetables, used rainwater to water plants, and shared tools with neighbors. They were rich, but they were living in balance with nature. They respected the earth, and the earth gave back. That's what we all need to learn again, which is respect. Now, let's talk about the next generation. Young people like you. Or not you, by the way. After that is going to be young people or the next generation. You are the future, and your voice matters, okay? Your voice matters. And all over the world, students are speaking up for the environment. They are joining cleanup days, planting trees, and asking governments to take action. They're learning about climate change and teaching others. If you're listening to this podcast right now, this means you care too. And that's a great first step. So never think I'm just one person. I can't make a difference. because you can do that. Okay, that's about the environment. So before we end today's episode, I like to teach you about 3 English words again. You can remember and practice. So the first one is pollution. Pollution is a noun, which means that dirty or harmful things in the environment is a pollution. For example, air pollution makes it hard to breathe. Okay, that's pollution. The second is recycle. Recycle is a verb, which means that to reuse materials like paper or plastic. For example, we recycle bottles to help the planet. That's recycle, things like that. And the last one is climate. Climate is a noun, which means that the unusual weather in a place over a long time. For example, the climate is changing all around the world. That's for 3 vocabulary for today. So try using these words in your daily life, or even better, try explaining them to a friend. That's how you really remember. Okay, so to finish, let me say this. The Earth is our only home. We don't have another planet. If you think about another planet like Mars, yeah, it might be in the future, but now you are on Earth. Today you are on Earth, okay? So take care of them, take care of it together, and be kind to nature, and nature will be kind to you as well. So thank you for listening to Academic Talk for this episode, and if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to follow and share, and come back next episode for more. And yeah, we will explore the real topics in the simple English with Academic Talk, as I mentioned, and so you can learn and grow at the same time as well. Until the next time, stay curious, stay hopeful, and bye for now. Hello and welcome back to Academic Talk. So I'm really excited to see you again for this episode, which is the 3rd episode of this channel. So today's episode is about something we all use every day but often don't stop to think about that, which is transport. Well, transport is how we move. It's how people travel from place to place. It's how goods get to stores. It's how families meet, how workers go to their jobs, and how food arrives at your table. In other words, transport keeps the world moving. Well, let's take a deeper look together. What is transport? Yeah, transport means movement. Very easy, right? So it includes all the systems and machines that help people and things go from one place to another. And yeah, we're talking about cars, buses, trains, airplanes, ships, bicycles, and even walking. Yeah, some types of transport are fast, like planes, and others are slow but safe and healthy, like walking or biking. Well, we often choose how we travel based on time, distance, money, and convenience. For example, if you want to go to school, you might walk or take a bus. But if you are traveling to another country, you need a plane. Okay? And why is transport important? Let's imagine a world without transport. You can visit your family in another country, right? You couldn't buy clothes made in other countries. Your favorite food might never arrive at your local market. That's sad. So transport connects people, it connects ideas, it supports business, education, and health. During emergencies, ambulances save lives because of fast transport. During vacations, we explore new places because of travel. In short, without transport, we would feel stuck, limited to just one place. That's what I mean. Okay? Well, how has transport changed? Yeah, I would say a long time ago, people walk everywhere or use animals like horses and camels. Then came the wheel, and with it, carts and wagons. After that, we built trains, cars, airplanes, and now even electric scooters and high-speed rail. Technology keeps improving. Now we have electric cars, bullet trains, and even space rockets. Yeah, lots of things. And one day we might even have flying taxis or self-driving buses like that. But with these amazing changes, new problems have appeared too. Problem with modern transport. Let's talk about the challenges. So one big problem is traffic. Yeah, very, very big deal. I mean, yeah, many cities are crowded with too many cars and not enough space. People spend hours in traffic every day, wasting time and fuel. And yeah, so another issue is pollution. Cars and planes burn fuel, which creates dirty air and carbon emissions. This leads to climate change and health problems. And also, some types of transport are expensive. Not everyone can afford a car or plane ticket. So, while transport helps us move, we must think carefully about how we use it. What can we do? There are many ways to make transport better and cleaner. For example, use public transport like bus and trains instead of driving alone. The second thing is walking or bike when possible. It actually is healthy and good for the planet. Terrace with friends or co-workers, or support electric vehicles and clean energy, or plan cities with bike lanes, sidewalks, and smart traffic systems. I think governments and companies must work together, but we as individuals can help too. Every small action counted. Well, let me tell you a quick story. When I visited Japan, I was amazed by their train system. Trains were fast, always on time, and super clean. People use trains every day, from students to co-worker like that. It made me realize how smart design can change how people live. When transport is efficient, life is easier. People are less stressed, and cities are cleaner. That experience stayed with me, and it made me more careful about how I travel too. Well, that's it for transport, and yeah. Oh, it's very strong topic for me, by the way. And yeah, now let's learn 3 useful English words from today's episode, right? The first one is commute. Commute, it can be noun or verb, which means that to travel regularly to work or school. Commute. For example, I commute to work by train, like that. The second is traffic jam. It's a noun, which means that when many cars are stuck and cannot move fast, yeah, that's traffic jam. For example, we were late because of a traffic jam. Yeah, that's a problem. So the last one is sustainable. Sustainable is an adjective, which means that something that can be done long term without harming the environment. For example, biking is a sustainable way to travel. Yeah, well, try using these words in your own sentences. It's a great way to improve your English. Okay? So by the way, transport is more than just machines. It's about people, progress, and possibility, by the way, and how we move shapes how we live. And as our world goes, our choices about transport matter more than ever. Let's move smart, let's move together, let's move forward. Yeah. So that's it for the episode. Thank you for enjoying me on Academic Talk. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend and follow for more. We got new topics coming every episode, simple, meaningful, and made for learners like you. Until next time, thank you for that. Keep going. Bye for now. Hello and welcome back to Academic Talk. So I'm glad to see you again today. Well, today we're going to talk about something beautiful and meaningful, like costumes and traditions. Yeah, these are the things that make each country, each culture, and each community unique. Well, they are the ways people celebrate, the food they eat, the clothes they wear, and even the values they share. So let's explore together what costumes and traditions are and why they're so important. So let's start with definitions. A custom is the usual way of doing something, often passed down through families or communities. For example, shaking hands when meeting someone or taking off shoes before entering a house. The second is a tradition. It's a belief or behavior that is passed down from generation to generation. It could be a celebration and festival, a dance, or a special holiday. So in simple way, as a word, costumes are daily habits or actions, and traditions are bigger, often connected to history or special events, things like that. And both of them help shape our identity and how we see the world. And why do they matter? Costumes and traditions gives us a sense of belonging. They remind us who we are and where we come from. For example, many families have special meals during New Year or religious holidays. Some cultures wear traditional clothes on weddings or festivals. Others have dances, music, or rituals that go back hundreds of years. Things like that. And these practices help connect us to our past and also help us feel connected to others in our group or society. And they are like invisible threads tying people together. For example, for around the world, let's have a look at a few interesting costumes and traditions from different places. The first one, in Thailand, people celebrate Songkran by splashing water during the new year as a symbol of cleansing and renewal. The second, in Mexico, there is the Day of the Dead, where families remember and honor loved ones who have passed away. The third, in Japan, people take part in the tea ceremony, a quiet and respectful tradition of serving and drinking tea. The fourth, in India, Diwali is a festival of lights where people light candles, set off fireworks, and celebrate the victory of good over evil. I would like to apologize if I mispronounce the word Diwali or the festival of light. I'm sorry for that. And these examples show how rich and colorful human cultures can be. And are costumes always the same? That's a great question. Some costumes stay the same for many years, others change over time. For example, in some countries, traditional weddings used to last several days. Now, they might be shorter or mixed with modern styles. Also, younger generations sometimes stop following old costumes, and this could cause tension between the old and the young. And but it can also be an opportunity to create new traditions, ones that still show respect but fit today's lifestyle. Well, in our global world today, we often meet people from different countries, different cultures. It's important to remember that different doesn't mean wrong. Just because someone eats different food, dresses differently, or celebrates in a way you don't understand, it doesn't mean it's strange or bad. It doesn't mean like that. So learning about other costumes can help build respect, friendship, and peace. Traveling, reading, and talking to people from different backgrounds is a great way to grow your mind and heart. And let me tell you about some story. A few years ago, I visited a village where people greeted each other not by shaking hands, but by bowing silently and placing their hands together, like in prayer. In Thailand, like that. At first, I didn't know what to do, right? But then someone kindly showed me. I copied them. And they smile. That simple act of learning and trying to show them I respected their way of life. And that moment helped us connect, even though we were from different parts of the world. It reminded me that understanding custom builds bridges. That's custom and traditions for today. And before we finish it, again, let's learn about 3 simple English words from this episode. The first one is tradition. Tradition is a belief or way of doing something passed through generation to generation, as mentioned. For example, lighting candles during the holiday is a family tradition. Things like that. The second is celebrate. It's a verb, which means that to do something special for a happy event. For example, we celebrate the festival with food and music. The third one is respect. Respect could be noun and verb, showing care or honor for others and their ways. For example, we should respect different cultures. Try using these words in your sentence and notice how often they appear in conversations about culture. And costume and traditions are not just only old ideas, they are living parts of who we are. They carry stories, wisdom, and connection. As we move forward in life, let's remember to celebrate where we come from while studying or while staying open to learning about others. Thank you for joining me on Academic Talk for today for this episode. If you enjoyed this episode, please follow and share with friends and come back to next week, even week, or next episode, like that. So we will explore the new topic in simple, clear English, so things like that. And I might mispronunciation as well. I would like to apologize for this. I'm a learner, learn together. If you make a mistake, give me a feedback in the comment. Okay? Until next time, stay curious, stay connected. Bye for now. Hello and welcome back to Academic Talk. So I'm happy to see you again for this episode. And today's topic is something we all think about, or at least we should. We are talking about health and fitness. It's not just about being strong or looking good. It's about feeling good, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Well, let's take a closer look at what health and fitness really mean and how we can take small steps to improve our lives. Well, what is health? Let's get started with the word health. Health means your body and mind are in good condition. It means you don't feel sick, tired, or stressed all the time. There are two parts to health: physical health and mental health. Physical health is about your body, your heart, muscles, bones, and how you eat, sleep, and move. Well, for the mental health, it's about your mind, how you feel, how you think, and how you deal with stress and emotions. Being healthy doesn't mean being perfect. It means having energy, balance, and being able to do the things you love. Well, what is fitness? Let's talk about fitness. Fitness means your body is strong and can do physical activity. It means you can walk, run, lift, dance, play sport, or do work without feeling tired too quickly. Fitness is built through exercise, which is moving your body in ways that make your heart breathe faster, your muscles work harder, and your body grows stronger. But fitness is not about having six-pack abs or running a marathon, things like that. It's about feeling active, flexible, and capable in your everyday life. So, why is health and fitness important? Good health and fitness give us energy. They help us sleep better, think more clearly, and feel more confident. When we are healthy, we can do our jobs better. Yeah, I would say like that. And we can enjoy time with friends and family. We can handle stress and avoid many illnesses. Exercise helps prevent heart disease or some types of cancer. And good sleep and healthy food help your brain stay sharp. And every 10 minutes of walking a day can make a difference. And when your body feels good, your mind feels better too. Well, let me share a few simple tips that anyone can follow for practice your health. And yeah, the first one, you can move every day, just only 20 to 30 minutes. Walk, stretch, dance, or take the stairs, like that. The second thing, eat balanced meals. Include fruits, vegetables, proteins, and drink enough water. For the third one is sleep well. Yeah, try to sleep 7 to 8 hours a day or hours a night, that's okay. And the fourth one is take breaks. Of course, too much work or study can lead to burnout. Rest is important. The last one, talk to someone. If you feel sad or anxious, talk to a friend, family member, or counselor. And you don't have to change everything at once. Just start small, one step at a time. That's it. So next thing, let me tell you a quick story. A friend of mine used to feel tired all the time. He would get late, ate fast food, and didn't move much. One day he decided to walk for 15 minutes each morning. At first, it felt hard, but after a few days, he started to feel better. He slept better, smile more, and even started cooking healthy meals. Now he walks 30 minutes a day and feels stronger than ever. His story shows that small changes can lead to big results. Okay? Yeah, that's health and fitness. Okay? So here are 3 simple words for today's episode. The first one is exercise. Exercise is a verb or noun, which means that physical activity that helps your body stay strong. For example, exercise 3 times a week, things like that. The second thing, energy, is a noun. It means the strength to move, think, and live actively. For example, eating well gives you more energy. Yeah. For the third one, stress. Stress is a noun, means that a feeling of worry or pressure. For example, taking breaks can help reduce stress. Okay? And yeah, again, try using these words when you talk about your lifestyle or goals, things like that. Health and fitness are not just for gym lovers, they are for all of you, for everyone. No matter your age, size, or schedule, you can take care of your body and mind. And remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about trying, caring, and growing step by step. Well, thank you for enjoying me on Academic Talk. If you like this episode, please follow the podcast, share it with a friend, and come back next episode. We'll keep learning about the topics that matter in easy and useful English, things like that. Until next time, stay active, stay healthy, and keep going. Bye for now. Hello and welcome back to Academic Talk. I'm really excited about today's topic. It's something about touches every part of our lives, which is invention. So have you ever wondered where everyday things come from? The light in your room, the phone in your hand, or even the chair you are sitting on. All of them begins as someone's idea. An invention is not just a thing, it's a story of thinking, trying, failing, and trying again. So today we'll explore what inventions are, why they matter, and how even small ideas can change the world. So let's get started with a simple definition. An invention is something new that someone creates to solve a problem or make life better. It can be a machine, a tool, a process, or even a way of thinking. For example, the wheel helped people move heavy things. The phone helped people talk across long distances. The internet connected the whole world with just a click. All of this began with an idea, and that idea became an invention. Why do people invent? People invent things for many reasons. Sometimes to solve a personal problem, sometimes to help others, and sometimes just out of curiosity. Let's take the story of Thomas Edison. He didn't invent the first light bulb, but he invented one that was practical and lasted long enough to be useful in homes. He failed hundreds of times before it worked. But he said, I didn't fail. I just found 1,000 ways that didn't work. That's the heart of invention, not giving up. So here are a few inventions that truly changed human life. The first one, printing press, made books and knowledge available to more people. Second, electricity, power homes, cities, and industries. Airplane, allowed people to travel across the world in hours. Smartphone, combined calling, internet, camera, and more into one small device. Each of these inventions changed how we live, work, and connect. And don't forget medical inventions like vaccines and X-rays, which have saved millions of lives. Okay? And not all inventions are huge. Think about the paper clip. Small but useful in office everywhere. The zipper makes our clothes easy to use. The sticky note helps us remember things quickly. These inventions may seem simple, but they improve our lives every day. You don't have to be a genius to invent something. Just observe, think, and try. Let me tell you something. A 15-year-old student invented a simple tool to clean oil from water after hearing about an oil spill on the news. She used kitchen materials and science knowledge from school. Her invention was small but powerful, and it helps clean water in real life. The story reminds us about age doesn't matter. What matters is the idea. And the courage to try. So today inventions are happening faster than ever. People can create things like robots that help in hospitals, apps that teach languages, solar panels that give energy from the sun. Yeah. In future, we might see flying cars, smart clothes, or even homes on the moon. Who knows, right? And maybe you will invent something one day too. Okay? That was invention. So before we finish, here are 3 useful English words for this episode. The first is invent. It's a verb, means to create something new. For example, she invented a new way to save water. Creative is an attitude, using imagination to make something. For example, he is very creative with his ideas. Problem is a noun, something difficult that needs a solution. For example, we need to solve this problem quickly. Well, again, try using these words when you talk about ideas or solution. Yeah, you can practice from that. Well, invention is not just about science or technology. It's about thinking differently, trying new things, and making life better for ourselves and others. Some inventions are big, some are small, but every invention begins with one thing. A question. What if? What if I do something? What's happened? What if I do something? What's gonna do? If she did what I do? Things like that. Well, thank you for joining me on Academic Talk for this episode. If you enjoyed this episode, please follow and share it with someone curious or someone you love, and stay tuned for the next time. I'm very happy to talk about it, to share my ideas as I mentioned. Until next time, keep thinking, keep learning, and maybe keep inventing. So that's it for today. Bye for now. Hello and welcome back to Academic Talk. It's great to have you here again, and today's topic is something fun, creative, and all around us, fashion. When we hear the word fashion, we often think about models, clothes, or expensive brands. But fashion is much more than that. It's about expression, culture, and even history. Well, let's explore what fashion really is, why it's important, and how it connects people all over the world. Well, what's fashion? Fashion is the way people dress, but also the way they express themselves. It includes clothes, shoes, accessories, hairstyles, and even makeup. Fashion changes all the time. What was popular 10 years ago may seem strange today, and what we wear today might be called vintage in the future. But fashion is not only about looking good, it's about showing who you are, your mood, your culture, your identity. And why do people care about fashion? People use fashion for many reasons. For example, to express personality. Some people like bright colors, others prefer dark tones that say something about who they are. And to feel confident. Wearing your favorite outfit can make you feel strong and happy. To belong. Sometimes we dress in a way that helps us fit into a group or community. And to be creative. Some people see fashion as art. They mix patterns, fabrics, and styles to create something new. Yeah, fashion can be serious, fun, or even political. It can make statements about gender, beliefs, or freedom. One of the most amazing things about fashion is how different it is in every country. For example, in Japan, fashion can be bold, colorful, and futuristic, like Harajuku style. In India, you see beautiful saris and bright patterns. In West Africa, people wear strong colors and bold designs made from special cloth. In Europe, classic suits and minimal design are popular in places like Paris. Every place has its own traditions, and fashion is a big part of culture. And yes, fashion also tells us about history. Think about the 1980s, mini skirt and piece size. Think about the 1960s, mini skirts and piece size. Or the 1990s, baggy jeans, joggers, and grunge. Each decade has a style that reflects how people felt during that time. In wars or economic hard times, people dressed more simply. In rich and peaceful times, fashion became more bold and artistic. So, fashion is like a mirror of society. And yeah, today there is something called fast fashion. Cheap clothes made quickly and sold in large amounts. It's popular because it's affordable and trendy. But there are problems. Fast fashion creates waste and often just unfair labor. That's why people are now talking about slow fashion. Buying fewer, better clothes, and caring more about where they come from. Being sustainable in fashion means thinking before buying. Do you need this? Will I wear it many times? Let me tell you something. A student I know used to feel unsure about her style. She wore what others wore just to fit in. But then, she started designing her own clothes using old fabric from her grandmother. It wasn't perfect, but it was hers. Okay? Soon, friends began asking where she got her outfits. Now she has an online shop, and all from trusting her creativity. This journey fashion doesn't need to be expensive or perfect. It just needs to be you. Okay? That's a fashion. Okay, it's not too long story, but yeah, you can understand it and apply it in your daily life. So, here are 3 helpful words for today's episode. The first one, style, a way of doing something or dressing. For example, I like her fashion style. It's very unique. Things like that. The second, trend. The second is trend. Something popular from a short term. For example, this color is a big trend this season. Yeah, things like that. The last one, sustainability. I think I taught you this word already. It's good for the environment over time, right? Yeah, for example, she only buys sustainable fashion now. And yes, try using these words when you talk about clothes or choices. Yeah, practice, practice, and practice. Use it in your sentence. Somewhere you can do it. And I would say fashion is not just about clothes. It's a part of how we live, how we feel, and how we share our identity with the world. You don't need to follow every trend. The best fashion is the one that makes you feel comfortable, confident, and yourself. So, whether you love bright dresses, or simple jeans, wear it with pride. Okay? So, I think that's it for today, and thank you for joining me on Academic Talk. And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to follow and share it with a friend or who you love, and turn in next episode. Well, until next time, stay stylish, stay confident, and express yourself. And yeah, that's it for today, and bye for now. Goodbye. Hello and welcome back to Academic Talk. So I'm glad to see you again with me today because we're diving into a topic that affects everyone. Whether you're rich or poor, a student or business owner. Well, today's episode is all about economics. Now, I know that word might sound a little boring or even difficult, but I promise it's more interesting than you think. Economics is not just about money, it's about choices, people, and how our world works. So, let's explore what economics really is, why it matters, and how understanding it can help us make smarter decisions in everyday life. So, let's start with a simple definition. Economics is the study of how people use resources like money, time, land, and materials to meet their needs and wants. So there are two main branches. The first one, microeconomics, looks at small parts of economy like people, families, and businesses. The second thing is macroeconomics, looks at the big picture, countries, governments, and global markets. But at its heart, economics is about one big problem, one big question. How do we make the best use of what we have? So, you might think economics is only for politicians or bankers, but actually you use economics every day. For example, when you decide whether to buy coffee or save money, that's economics. And when you compare price in a shop, you are being an economist. And when a company sets price for a product, they are thinking economically. So economy is a part of our daily choice, even when we don't realize it. So one of the most important ideas in economics is scarcity. Scarcity means that we don't have enough of everything, not enough money, time, food, or even clean air. Because resources are limited, people have to make choice. And let's say you have $10, you can buy lunch or a movie ticket, but probably not both. That decision and what you give up is called opportunity cost. So economics helps us understand the cost of our choice. Yes. And another basic idea is supply and demand. Here's how it works. Supply is how much of something is available, and demand is how much people want it. If something is rare but everyone wants it, like a new iPhone, the price goes up. Yeah. And if there's a lot of something but few people want it, the price goes out. Things like that. This simple idea explains a lot about price, sales, and markets. Now, let's look at microeconomics. So the big stuff, right? Governments use tools to manage the economy. These include taxes, collecting money to pay for public services, interest rates, changing the cost of borrowing money, spending, building roads, paying teachers, funding healthcare, things like that. For example, in a crisis like COVID-19, governments around the world gave money to business and people. That was an economic decision to stop the economy from crashing, things like that. So economy is not just about markets, it's about people's lives and futures. Okay? So have you ever wondered why your clothes are made in Vietnam, your phone in China, and your food from Australia? That's because of global trend. Different countries produce different things. Some go rich, others make cars, others sell oil. Trends allows countries to specialize and share what they have. But global trend also brings challenges like unfair wages, pollution, and conflicts between rich and poor countries. So economics asks, how can we trend fairly while protecting people and the planet? Well, let's talk about money. Money is not just paper or coins, it's a tool for trade. Okay, for trade. And it changes value over time. Inflation. Inflation means price go up and your money buys less. If coffee cost $1 last year, but 1.5 this year, that's inflation. Too much inflation is bad, but too little also hurt the economy. So central banks try to keep inflation just right, okay? That's why economics matter. It's the science of balance. Well, economics also helps us understand jobs. Why do some jobs pay more than others? Why is it hard to find work in some countries? It's about skills, demand, technology, and education. In today's world, machines are replacing many jobs. That's why we need new skills, like digital tools, communication, and creativity. So understanding economics helps young people prepare for a changing job market. And let me share a quick story again. A friend of mine opened a small coffee shop. He thought, if I sell great coffee, people will come. But it wasn't that easy. He had to think about rent price, how much coffee beans cost, what price customer would pay, and how to pay stuff, and what competitors were doing. So he became a real-life economist, learning supply, demand, budgeting, and risk. Today, his job is doing well because he used economic thinking, not just passion. Okay? So, why should we study economics? Here are 3 good reasons. The first one, it helps us understand the news. Yes. The second is, it helps us manage money. Saving, investing, budgeting, things like that. So the third thing is it helps us make better choice, not just for ourselves, but for society as well. Yeah. So the world is full of problems. Poverty, inequality, climate change. Economics can help us solve them, or at least understand them better. Yeah. So that's it for economics topic. And yeah, let's end with the 3 simple economics words. The first one is budget, means a plan for how to use money. For example, I made a budget to save for my trip, things like that. The second is inflation. Inflation means rising price over time. For example, because of inflation, everything feels more expensive every single day. The third, it is trade. Trade means the exchange of goods or services. Example, many countries trade food, clothes, and technology, things like that. Well, I would say economics is not just about numbers or charts. It's a way of thinking about the world. It teaches us to ask, what's the cost, what's the benefit, how can we do better? Well, you don't have to be an expert to understand economics. You just have to be curious and willing to ask smart questions. Yeah. So that's it for today. Thank you for joining me to Academic Talk. If you enjoyed this episode, please follow and share and join us again next time. As I mentioned, until then, stay curious, spend wisely, and always think like an economics. Okay? So that's it for today. Thank you. Bye for now. Hello and welcome back to Academic Talk, where we are talk about the world in a simple way to help you learn English and understand important ideas. So I'm happy to see you again today, and yeah, in this episode we are going to talk about something that affects every country, every person, and even every animal on Earth. So the topic is climate change. Actually, I mentioned it in the episode 2, maybe, I'm not sure. And yeah, let's begin. So what is climate change? In simple words, climate change means a big change in the Earth's weather. This is not just one hot day or one storm. It means that the Earth is getting warmer over time and the weather is becoming strange and difficult to predict. Well, usually the Earth has a natural balance. Some days are hot, some days are cool. Sometimes it rains, sometimes it doesn't. But today, that balance is changing. Temperatures are going up in many places. Some places are getting more rain and others are getting very dry. So why is this happening? The main reason is something called greenhouse gases. These are gases like carbon dioxide and methane. They come from things we use every day like cars, factories, airplanes, and burning coal or gas for electricity. These gases go up into the sky and make a kind of blanket around the Earth. That blanket keeps the heat in. So the planet slowly gets warmer. This warmer is called global warming, and it is the heart of climate change. So let's talk about what happens when the Earth gets warmer. First, the ice at the North and South Pole is melting. So this ice used to stay frozen for thousands of years, but now it's melting fast. When this ice melts, it adds more water to the ocean that makes sea level rise. Okay? And what does that mean for us? It means that some cities near the ocean are in danger of flooding. Countries like Bangladesh, island nations in the Pacific, and even parts of New York City or Bangkok could have serious problems in the future. The second thing, the weather becomes more extreme. We see more heat waves, which are long periods of very hot weather. We also see stronger storms, heavy rain, and sometimes a very long drought, where there is no rain at all. In some places, wildfires are happening more often. Countries like Australia and New Zealand and Greece have had terrible fires in the last few years. These fires destroy homes, forests, and even take lives. So climate change doesn't just affect nature, it affects people too, especially poor people, farmers, and children. Farmers need the right weather to grow food, but now rains are late or don't come at all. Sometimes there's too much rain and it floods the fields. This means crops die and people don't have enough food. Also, when the weather is too hot, people can get sick more easier. Diseases like malaria and dengue fever are spreading to new places because mosquitoes like warm weather. In cities, the heat can be dangerous. Elderly people, young child, and workers outside can suffer from heat stroke. So, what can we do? Of course, this part is very important. We are not helpless. There are many things we can do to slow down climate change. Well, governments can create laws to protect the environment. For example, they can reduce pollution, stop cutting down forests, and invest in clean energy like wind and solar power. But what is about ordinary people? We can do small things that make a big difference over time. Here are a few ideas. So the first one is use less plastic. Take your own bag to the shop, use a water bottle you can refill. Okay? And save electricity. Turn off the lights and machines when you don't need them. Okay? And eat less meat. Meat production creates a lot of greenhouse gas. You don't have to stop completely, just reduce. Okay? Take public transport or ride a bicycle. Cars and airplanes cause a lot of pollution. Yeah, every year, every day. And yeah, plant trees. Trees help take carbon dioxide out of the air. Okay? And one more thing, talk about it. Share what you learn. Teach your family, your friends, your classmates. The more people understand climate change, the more we can work together to fix it. Okay? And yeah, let's have a look at Thailand for a moment. Many parts of the country are facing longer hot season and strange rain patterns. Farmers in the northeast are reporting that it's harder to grow rice. Bangkok has seen floods almost every year, and many experts worry that in the future the city might be partly underwater. But at the same time, Thailand is also trying to help. Solar power is becoming more popular. Young generation are raising their voice. Schools and universities are teaching more about the environment. That gives us hope. Okay? So it's easy to feel scared, but about climate change, we can also feel hopeful. Why? Because many people around the world are already working to fix the problem. New technologies, smart ideas, strong voice from the new generation are making a difference. You, too, can be part of that change. Every action counts, no matter how small. If we all work together, governments, companies, and people like you and me, we can make the future better. We still have time, but we must act now. Okay? So, that's the climate change. Yes, I share my ideas about the climate change to you. You can help us. You can share your friend, as I mentioned. You can, just act now, okay? Something like that. So, if I talk about something deeply or academic, I feel like, oh, this is our world, this is our home. Why is so terrible? Things like that. But it's okay. This is a academic talk, okay? It's quite strong topic, but you're gonna realize that. Me too. I realize that too. And so that's it for the climate change. And let's finish today's episode with 3 useful words again. So the first one is the global warming. Global warming means the increase in Earth's temperature over time. For example, global warming is causing the ice to melt. The second thing is greenhouse gas. It's a gas that traps heat in the air, like carbon dioxide. For example, cars produce greenhouse gas, things like that. The last thing is drought. A long time without rain. For example, farmers cannot grow crops during a drought. Okay? We have 3 words: global warming, greenhouse gas, and drought. Okay? So, thank you so much for listening to Academic Talk. I hope you enjoyed today's episode about climate change, and don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your friends. And take care of the earth and take care of yourself. See you in the next episode. Bye for now. Hello and welcome back to Academic Talk. So the podcast where we talk about big ideas in simple English. Well, I'm really happy to see you again, whether you are learning English or looking for useful knowledge or just curious about the world, things like that. Well, we are here for you. So today, let's talk about something that's changing the way we move from place to place. It's something you might see on the roads more and more. Yes, we're talking about something like electric vehicles or EVs, things like that. Let's dive in. Well, what is an electric vehicle? I would say electric vehicle or EV is a car that runs on electricity instead of petrol or diesel. Instead of a gas tank, it has a battery instead of an engine that burns fuel. It has an electric motor, things like that. So instead of going to a gas station, you charge the car with electricity, just like you charge your phone. And yes, you can plug it in at home, at work, or at a public charging station. Some famous electric vehicles include the Tesla, Nissan Leaf, BYD Dolphin, things like that. And now, almost every big car company is making EVs like Toyota, Ford, BMW, and even Porsche. So, why are EVs becoming popular? So I would say there are the few reasons why EVs are becoming more popular around the world. First, they are better for the environment. Yes, normal cars produce carbon dioxide or CO2, which is a greenhouse gas. This gas goes into the air and causes global warming. Well, EVs don't produce this kind of pollution when they drive, so they are seen as more eco-friendly. Second thing, EVs can be cheaper in the long run, even though they can costs more to buy. Electricity is cheaper than petrol in many countries. Also, electric cars have fewer moving parts, so that need less repair and maintenance. So the third thing is technology is improving. In the past, EVs couldn't drive very far, but now some cars can go 400 or even 600 kilometers on one charge. That's more than enough for most people. And let's not forget that they are run to drive. EVs are quiet, smooth, and fast. The power goes to the wheels immediately, so acceleration feels quick and exciting. Well, now let's look more closely at the environment. Many people choose electric vehicles because they want to help the planet, maybe. And that's a good thing, right? EVs don't have a tailpipe, right? A tailpipe. So they don't make air pollution. When they drive, this means cleaner air in cities and fewer health problems for people, especially children and older people. But we should also ask, is an EV 100% clean? Well, not exactly. Making the battery use a lot of energy, right? And if the electricity used to charge the car comes from coal or oil, then there's still some pollution. So the best result is when EVs are charged using clean energy like solar or wind power. Some countries like Norway are very good at this. In Norway, most electricity comes from water power and most new cars are electric. See that? And the goal is to make everything cleaner, not just the car but also the electricity. So let's look at a few real examples. In Thailand, EVs are getting more popular. The government supports them with tax discounts and lower prices. You can now see charging stations at malls, gas stations, and condos. Chinese car companies like BYD and NEDA are investing in Thailand factories, and more Thai people are thinking about buying their first EV. Yeah. So in Europe, countries like the Netherlands and Germany are building strong EV infrastructure. You can drive across the country and find charging stations along the highway. In China, the EV market is growing faster than anywhere else. They are producing affordable cars that are helping more people switch from petrol to electric. Yeah. So even though EVs sound great, there's still challenges. So the first one is price. EVs can still be expensive for many people, but prices are becoming down slowly. The second, charging. In some areas, it's hard to find a charging station, or maybe charging take too long. That's why fast charge stations are important. The third, battery life. What happens when a battery gets old? Some people worry about battery waste and how to recycle all EV parts. Well, governments and companies are working on this problem. Some are building better batteries, others are making more charging points, and some are finding ways to reuse or recycle old batteries. Well, what about the future? The future of EVs look very bright. Some experts say that by the year 2035, many countries will stop selling petrol cars completely. That means only electric cars or hybrid cars will be available. Also, companies are working on solid-state batteries, which are safer, lighter, and charge faster. This could make EVs even better. And another trend is share electric transport, like electric buses, scooters, or even flying cars. Funny. Can you imagine riding in an electric flying taxis one day? As cities grow and traffic becomes a problem, electric transport will help make our cities quieter, cleaner, and more sustainable. So, should you buy an EV? If you're thinking about getting an electric car, here are a few questions to ask. Do you have a place to charge it at home or nearby? Do you drive a lot each day? Do you want to save money on fuel over time? Are there government incentives in your country? If you answer yes to most of these, then an EV might be a good choice for you. But even if you don't buy one now, it's good to learn about them because electric vehicles will be a big part of the future, not for now. Okay? It's okay for now. So, electric vehicles are not just a trend, they are part of a global movement to change how we live, move, and protect our planet. We still have work to do, but things are moving fast. The best part or not, you already learned about it. So you're asking questions, you're staying informed. That's the first step to build a better future. So I would say that's it for electric vehicles. Well, let's finish with 3 useful words for today's episode. The first one is battery. Battery is a device that stores and gives the power. For example, the EV runs on a big battery that you can charge. The second is pollution. Pollution means dirty air, water, or land that can harm people and nature. For example, EVs have reduced air pollution in cities, things like that. The last one is sustainable. We talk about sustainable lots of time. Sustainable means something that can continue without hurting the environment. For example, we need more sustainable ways to travel. Yeah, we learn about sustainable a lots of episodes, lots of times, okay? And yeah, I would say thank you for joining me today on Academic Talk. If you enjoyed this episode about electric vehicles, then don't forget to subscribe and share it with a friend. Learn English while learning about the world is a smart way to go. Okay? But if you want to know more, okay, let's stay tuned for the next episode and take care, keep learning, and see you in the next episode. I would say that's it for today. Bye for now.